to be back with you. I'm Anita and I'm here for a short Pilates session with you again. I call this one all legs, all Pilates, all the time. The reason is this is a sequence designed to develop stability and strength in the torso and the pelvis, and also at the same time to strengthen the leg and hip muscles. You know, Joe Pilates' work was really wonderful in that many of his exercise sequences were designed to continually keep changing positions to stimulate and challenge the body in a lot of different ways. So let's get started and see how we might set ourselves up to do our best. This is a sideline position sequence. So I have my mat here. You might have a blanket, if you don't have a mat handy, on a nice solid surface to give you some cushioning, because it is a sideline position. So when we set ourselves up, the main thing is to set ourselves up in optimal form so that number one, we don't get injured, number two, we're doing the exercise correctly, and number three, we're doing it in a way so that we gain our strength and can make progress. So in a sideline position, one of the beginning ways that you might want to work, if you're just starting this, would be to extend the legs, get onto your side, extend your arm, and get a little support for your head so that you stay in a long, straight alignment. That helps you to stabilize through the torso, the sides, the back, and the pelvic floor. I have my arms stretched to give a little support and keep myself in alignment. At the same time, maybe I need a little bit more support so I can get my fist under my head to give it a little more. If I have wider shoulders, might even need more help than that, with a folded towel or blanket or pad or flat pillow underneath. At the same time that I'm doing that, I'm looking down to see what's going on with my feet and my legs. My feet and my legs are a little bit forward so I don't overwork my back. So check where you are on your mat. If you need to move back a little bit and reposition, do that. If you feel like you're going to roll back right away, you might even want to start backed up to a wall that's very solid behind you so that you're not tempted to roll back and lose your stability. Let your hand be your little bike kickstand out here. I try not to do a big deep bend at the wrist because that's hard on it. I sort of set my fingers up like a little spider sitting out here. Then the first thing I want to do is to remember to get deeply into my inhales and exhales to activate abdominally. Every exhale is a chance to pull in, get stronger, and stabilize. My legs are in parallel with the thighs facing front. I'm going to flex that top ankle and start with leg lifts, pressing up to lower, up to lower. That's an exhale and an inhale. Breathe out, breathe in. I'm not going too high because there is some limitation in the side of the hip socket, and I'm really trying to work in parallel, strengthening inside and outside of the leg. Once I've found that, with about 8 to 10 reps, not any more than that, draw the leg forward, find a little circle out in the air slightly off the floor. Again, you can use your inhales and your exhales to make that work for you. Breathing in and out. Once you've found your circles, see if you can retrace them just as efficiently, going back in the opposite direction. Breathing in and out, making it very even. Again, stretching long on the side and not dumping and letting everything go into the mat. Once you've found that, let's teach the leg where internal and external rotation is. I'll do that by touching my toe down slightly in front of the leg and then my heel down in back. Now the big temptation as we go back and forth between this little exercise called hot potato, I think you see why, is as I go to the back and go into outward rotation, my temptation is to roll back. Get secure in the hip and your lower back and your abdominals. Don't let that happen. You want to stay long, secure, stable. Now that the leg knows where inward and outward rotation is, let's find outward rotation. I'm rolling open the thigh, I'm bringing the heel forward, and I'm taking a long extension into the air, flexing the ankle, drawing it back down. Breathing out. Inhale, get taller even though you're side lying on the mat. That's it. When you're in sideline position, getting active in the side, in this waist area, letting these obliques help you anchor, is called maintaining your mouse house, that little curve that you'd like to appear there. One more. Inhale to exhale it down. Let's add to that some articulation, which is big movement, full movement around the joint. I'm going to start with my toes, ankles, knees, hips extended out in space, flex, and draw it down. Then I'll reverse the whole thing, taking it up, in, down, crawling out and down my other leg. Once more, drawing it in, up, out, flexing, drawing it down. Then here we go, reversing it. Toe, ankle, knee. That's it. Make it work. Let's do one more. I think we've got it. Draw it down. That's it. Draw it back up. There you go. From here, then a very different kind of movement to finish off with. Go back to parallel with the thigh facing forward. Install a really large old-fashioned bike between the legs and find your bicycling motion. As I do that, I'm going to really work my foot and ankle again. And I'm going to be as active to the back as I am to the front. That would mean digging my toe in, then my heel, drawing it forward. That's it. One more time. When you draw the legs down, see if you can line those legs up one more time. Whether you have an arm, a fist, or a pillow underneath, take it out of the way and see if you can find that classic log rolling position where you're balanced front to back. Take a big inhale and exhale here. You can even add a challenge onto that by pushing up and away, pushing the lower legs up and away, turning yourself into two little halves of a banana and accenting these muscles around the side, back, and front. Then the last thing would be, when you shift to the other side, make that efficient. Draw the knees up, push yourself up, elevating your body weight, get those shoulders down, draw the legs around, and let's set up to the other side. Same idea. Draw the legs out, forward to the front of the mat, let yourself extend down. Here you are, basic sideline position. If you've been working on some of this for a while, you may feel like you can challenge yourself somewhat by getting a little higher off the mat and still stay stable front, back, and side. You do that by drawing this elbow up, getting it underneath the shoulder, still using the kickstand hand, and then my top leg is going to start work with those leg lifts, lifting up, down, up, down. I'm still staying long through the side. I'm not dumping or curving to the mat. I'm finding length and supporting myself up off the mat. Draw the leg forward. Find those circles in the air slightly off the mat. Try not to make them too fast. Keep them even. Each part of the circle deserves as much attention as another part of the circle. Let's reverse it. Inhale to exhale. The breath is what we ride on all the time. Breathing in and out. Then, as we've reversed the circle, find that hot potato angle. Take a little touch and back, forward and back. So it's toe and heel and toe and heel without rolling back and without letting that hip pull you back. Then from there, outward rotation, drawing the heel forward, opening the top thigh. Draw the leg up, flex and draw down, up and draw down, up and draw down. That's it. And I'm trying to move my toe, ankle, heel as much as I can so they don't go to sleep on me. How about articulating, drawing it up, out in space, flexing, reversing it. There we go. Let's do a couple more. Stretch it up, out, and down, and up, out, and down one more time. Then with the legs forward, frankly, I get the best action in my hip if I take myself down to the mat again, stabilize, to do the bicycle part. Here we are. Digging that heel and toe in as you go forward and back. Using big exhales and inhales. Reversing the idea, taking it to the back. Let's do one more. Then adding on that log roll position. Long extended arms. You're balanced in between them. You're balanced on the side of your body. You're not dumping into the mat. You're staying elongated. And then again, we can add that lift of the side body, the lift of the legs. There they go, off the mat, just to accent that side lift and get a little more strength going there. When you push yourself up, draw the knees, push yourself all the way up. One of the things we can do here is to roll to the back and stretch out some of the sides of the legs and the hips that we've just been working. So find yourself on the mat. Stretch the legs. Draw one in towards the chest, hand on the thigh and the shin. Draw that leg across without lifting this hip up. Let it stay anchored to the mat. You're going for stretching along the outside of that leg. Once you've taken some breaths there and feel that stretch coming in, bend the opposite knee, rest the ankle on it. Use your hands on your long bones, not the joint. Press the leg open. Flex that ankle to draw the foot back. That takes the stretch a little further up. You can add to that by taking a belt or sash around this other thigh, or just reach down to your pants leg or behind the thigh and draw it in towards the chest. Now you'll feel it going even deeper in to the side of the thigh and the hip that we've just worked. Use your breath, make it nice and even. When you release, give a little shake to the legs so they have a little feedback. Draw the other leg in. Again, one hand on the thigh, the other on the shin. Draw it across the waist and the chest. Then as you release it, draw that other leg up and in. Let the ankle rest on the thigh. Press away on the thigh and the shin, not on the knee joint. And finally, either with assistance or with a pants leg or arms, draw that thigh in towards the chest, driving your stretch deeper into the outside of the thigh and the hip. And finally, releasing. So there you go. All legs, all Pilates, all the time. I wish that we were together in our big group classes at the J, but since we're not, I hope you enjoy this and it's useful to you. See you next time.